Let's talk about one of the oldest rivalries in gaming history, the console wars. PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo for years have been beefing, trying to get that #1 spot and create the perfect console. And everyone has their own opinion. Some say the PlayStation 2, which was my childhood console. Many people swear that the Xbox 360 was the best of all time. And this was during, the trash talking era. And on a rare occasion, you have a couple people who are loyal to Nintendo and will say that the Super Nintendo birthed all of this stuff. And honestly, you gotta respect the OGs. But recently, IGN just dropped an article stating Sony says PS5 is the most successful PlayStation generation ever. Sony CEO Hideki Nishio even showed a graph explaining the process and how much each PlayStation console earned through their eras. Starting off with the PlayStation 1 at 24 billion, the PlayStation 2 44 billion, the PlayStation 3 made about 71 billion, and the PlayStation 4 brought in a wild $107 billion, which is pretty good. But now to this day, the PlayStation 5 is sitting at 136 billion. And I say this often because that is a lot of money, but that is nothing to the top 10 richest people on the Forbes list. And then what was the comparison on that? But before we start glazing in PS5 and saying that this is obviously the greatest console of all time, we need to look at some of the facts and what is the reasoning for this increase. First off, the economy is going crazy right now. I'm pretty sure a carton of eggs right now is the same price as a PlayStation subscription. Like, I'm not even kidding you. But that's just, growing older and seeing, how life is with inflation and stuff like that. So obviously things are going to be more expensive. Second of all, gaming culture is a different beast now. But literally back in the day when I used to talk about games, animes, or superheroes and stuff like that, the stigma of nerd was thrown at me, and that classified, somebody like me back in that day as a lame. But in today's society, nerds are the wave, and anime and gaming is just, so hyped up right now. It's at a whole different place, and everyone wants to be a part of it, which to a degree I'm excited about. But then the younger me is like, this is some bull, like all the times that I was trying to put y'all on to it, and now y'all just getting hip. So it's kind of crazy, and I feel like a lot of people feel like that sometimes. And lastly, microtransactions. Studios have realized they don't have to drop a brand new game every single year or two. What they did is they created battle passes, seasons, or allowed you to get exclusive clothing and stickers for your character to make you stick around on certain games, and basically creating an infinite cash cow. And not to say that live services are a bad game, because Fortnite is actually super lit. They have came a long way and still is one of the best games out there to this date. But for certain companies, these guys are trying to, reach that same height, but not putting in as much creativity, to be different or to stand out. It's just their business model. Now, personally, I love my PS5. I think it's been a pretty good console in my opinion, and we have gotten a lot of good bangers on this. But if we're really being honest about this situation, the PS5 and the PS4 don't have that big of a gap as a lot of people think that it is. Even in the IGN article, they announced, according to Sony's most recent sales data, PS5 consoles have sold an estimated combined total of over 80.3 million units worldwide as of June 30th of 2025. However, total PS4 consoles unit sales still outnumber this at 117.2 million. But let's think about it. Majority of the games that have been coming out have been remakes, remasters, or even cross-gens, allowing these older consoles to still stay in a race, while the PlayStation 5 and all the newer consoles aren't able to reach their fully max potential because they're not prioritizing or moving to the next era. So statistically, the PlayStation 5 might be the most successful console, but I think that speaks louder on the times that we live in versus the tech that we're playing on. Make sure you guys smash that like button and come join our community in the Discord, where we talk about all the gaming news that's going on. And also subscribe to the channel if you want to be caught up on all the hottest gaming news. Other than that, see ya.